Rolling audio. Nick, 11:40 p.m. and marking all cameras and audio. Is there anybody up here with me tonight? Hello? I've lost signal from 3 of my cameras. Is there somebody here who lost their life in this house? Behind me. About 2:10 in the morning here. I think we just had a power surge. Now that's blinking, this one's blinking. We got blinking lights all over the house. The door just opened by itself. It's still opening, it's still opening, it's still opening. When you're a paranormal investigator, you end up spending a lot of time in places with some pretty dark histories. But sometimes those histories are so sinister and so strange that they have literally changed people's lives. I'm Nick Smith-Koblitz, and I've been a paranormal investigator now for just over 19 years. I'm the founder of C.P.I. We're crypto paranormal investigations.
I'm Miranda. I'm the tech manager of Crypto Paranormal Investigations, and I've been with C.P.I. for about 12 years. I think crypto is different than other research groups because we focus a lot on the scientific side of things, and we're very centered on debunking and sort of looking for other answers at why people could be experiencing certain things or certain phenomena. When it comes to allegedly haunted locations, most paranormal activity is innocuous.
It might seem frightening in the time because you're caught off guard, but it's not going to hurt you. Some locations are known for more malevolent activity, and the Conjuring house is definitely one of those locations.
When it comes to demons and like satanic forces and things like that, I don't necessarily relate to those types of terminology. I think that there's definitely negative energy is real, and the rest of it is sort of left to the interpretation of the person.
The farm on Round Top Road, or the Arnold Estate, is a case I've been personally interested in for a long time, even before the film put it on the map. In the 1970s, it was the home of the Perron family. Roger, Carolyn, and their 5 daughters, and their experiences with strange and terrifying phenomenon served as the inspiration for the 2012 horror sensation, The Conjuring. But like a lot of iconic cases, there's a lot of conjecture and misinformation that's been generated over the years about this case, especially given all the media hype. In 2011, eldest daughter Andrea Perron released the book House of Darkness, House of Light, the first of a 3-volume series that recounts her family's experiences in the old farmhouse. Now known as the farm on Round Top Road, the 3-century-old colonial was completed in 1736. Once lived in by the Arnold family, the property has seen its share of occupants and tragic events over the centuries. Although, contrary to popular belief, only one recorded death, that of Jarvis Smith, has been confirmed on the property. On January 11th, 1971, the Perron family moved in. The 8 acres and 14-room farmhouse, intended to be their forever home, a quiet place to settle down. But from the day they moved in, the family became increasingly aware of strange things about their new home. The family dog refused to enter certain rooms. Rancid smells like rotten meat would permeate the house. The temperature in the home would drop abruptly, even in warm weather. The sounds of footsteps and voices came from unoccupied rooms. Their piano mysteriously played by itself, and doors open and shut seemingly by themselves. At night in their rooms on the second floor, the Perron girls were frequently troubled by noises and voices they could not explain. One night, 8-year-old Cindy was awoken by a disturbing chorus of voices, all calling out, "There are 7 dead soldiers buried in the wall." Carolyn and eventually Roger became convinced the predominant presence in their home was an older woman, whom they believed was jealous of Carolyn's position in the house. The strange and increasingly disturbing phenomenon led the Perrons to consult with members of the Paranormal Investigation and Research Organization, and eventually famed paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren.
The Warrens were a husband and wife team of paranormal investigators. They worked on some very high-profile cases, such as the Amityville Horror. Due to scrutiny in the press and other paranormal researchers, the cases that the Warrens worked on were highly controversial.
The Warrens arrived on Halloween night, 1973. According to the Perrons, upon entering the home that night, Lorraine Warren, an alleged clairvoyant and medium, claimed to sense what she called, quote, a malignant presence in their home, and that its name was Bathsheba Sherman. Bathsheba Sherman and her connection to this case is one of the things that's been really warped by Hollywood's depiction. She was a real person. She was born in 1815 in Burrillville. She lived on a neighboring property, and she's buried in the Harrisville Cemetery. But there's absolutely no historical evidence, no written accounts anywhere that say she was ever accused of witchcraft or had any connection to the Arnold Estate. The notions that there may have been a connection with witchcraft or the occult seems to have started with what the Warrens told the Perrons back in the 1970s. When Warner Brothers made the movie, they ran with the idea of using Bathsheba the Witch as the villain for the film. And she's developed such a stigma that her grave in Harrisville was so frequently vandalized that the town had to remove her headstone after it was smashed. The Warrens visited the Perrons at their home on 4 occasions between 1973 and 1974, until a seance conducted in 1974 that allegedly resulted in a violent attack on Carolyn Perron. During the seance, Carolyn started acting bizarrely. As Andrea writes in her book, she began speaking in a string of nonsense words. The chair she was sitting in levitated, and, quote, a power not of this earth threw her 20 feet into another room, end quote. Fearing any further meddling with the forces in the house and for the safety of his family, Roger forced the Warrens from his home. Tied to the property, the Perrons remained until 1980. When they finally sold the house. Several families occupied the home in the years following the Perrons' departure, some of whom reported a handful of unusual occurrences, although never to the degree the Perrons had reported. In 2012, Warner Brothers released the horror film The Conjuring, based on the Warrens' account of the Perrons' case, and solidified the home's pop culture status as an iconic haunted house. In 2019, it was purchased by Corey and Jennifer Heinzen, paranormal investigators from Maine, who claim that some of the activity reported in the 1970s still occurs to this day.
Things are going to be a little different tonight. I'm actually flying solo. Miranda and Pam unfortunately couldn't make it for this investigation, but I'm just going to do my best, try to break down the claims and really see if I can figure out what's going on at this place. I think we are in for a windy night. Nice creepy country road, set the mood. I know this is the Conjuring house. It inspired a horror film franchise, but I'm just gonna have to, try to put that in the back of my head, remain objective, do my job tonight. I think this is the place. Oh, wow. There she is. Oh man, this is cool. Right, go in and see who's gonna meet me and hopefully get my tour, get investigating.
When I arrived at the location, I was met by Corey and Jennifer and their 2 German shepherds. They showed me around, and I spent a couple hours interviewing them. Then, just a little after 9 p.m., I started to bring in and set up all the equipment. That night, I ran 6 stationary cameras covering the parlor, the study, the dining room, the cellar, and all 3 bedrooms on the 2nd floor. I also placed 2 thermal imaging cameras, one in the parlor and the other upstairs. I also placed a variety of environmental meters in the study, one of the long-standing hotspots of activity, recorded by their own locked-off camera. Measuring environmental data like temperature, humidity, radiation, and background magnetic fields is critical to our research because we're looking to see if there is any measurable change in the environment when somebody has a paranormal experience. It's 10:32 and I just finished my first set of baseline readings. I came back to control where I have the monitor set up, and I've lost signal from 3 of my cameras. The basement camera, the 2nd floor thermal, and the back bedroom. All 3 cameras are still on, I just checked them, and the video loss keeps disappearing, which I've never quite seen happen on this system before. See, it just went away and now it comes back on again, but there is no... What are you doing? I decided to do a sweep of the location with the thermal imaging camera, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. So I decided to begin more focused investigations of some of the location's hotspots, starting in the parlor where the seance had taken place.
Rolling audio, Harrisville House, Nick, 11:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm marking all cameras and audio. It is very windy tonight. So good evening, almost good morning. My name is Nicholas Smith-Koblitz, and I traveled all the way from New York City to come and see this place. I actually have a house in Western Massachusetts that is very similar to this place in a lot of ways. That is wind outside. If you don't want to talk to me, that's fine. I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. Behind me. Did sound like wood though, like adjusting to temperature, humidity. If there is anybody here with me, do you think you might be able to tell me your name, please? Was this your house? Hello? Clicking sound. Wind is crazy. It's really hard to tell if any of the sounds that I'm hearing are in here or out there. There's so much stuff blowing around, and one of the doors to the outside is not super secure, so it's jiggling a lot in the wind, making some noise. Like that. I think that was the door. Is there anybody up here with me tonight? Do you remember Andrea Perron, Nancy, Cindy, the girls who used to live in this house, sleep in these rooms? I just heard a little something. Almost sounded like it was downstairs, but it just could be wind again. It's too hard to tell. Is there somebody here who lost their life in this house? Did you die here? Is that why you're staying here?
I sat up there for a long time and waited for something to happen, but the place seemed pretty quiet, so I decided to head back downstairs and move the meters I had data logging in the parlor up to the middle bedroom.
All right, concluding data logging session. The door just opened by itself. It's still opening, it's still opening, it's still opening. Please tell me I got that on camera. That door just opened by itself. Let me see if I can recreate that. Hello? Okay. Don't know if it was latched. Okay, but if it was unlatched, it would have already opened.
The door opened right in front of my eyes. I really thought it was a person coming into the room, but then I saw there was no one there.
I am relatching the door. Door is indeed latched. I am tugging on that. I was over here. Is it a floorboard or something? I'm bouncing.
I immediately turned all the cameras back on, I turned the meters back on, I set up a second static camera in that room facing the doorway. Then I sat there for about an hour and just waited to see if anything else would happen, but nothing did.
It's about 2:10 in the morning here. I was just taking a set of baseline readings. I heard the DVR system start beeping. I think we just had a power surge of some kind. The weird thing is the cameras that weren't working before are now back on. I have to go reset the FLIRs, but I have no idea why these cameras are now all of a sudden working again. This is strange. And Corey... Hello? So right now I'm taking a look at the locked off camera feed at around the time that the door opened.
see the plastic they had sealing the window was blowing because it was so breezy that night. You can see a lot of swirling dust here, which makes me think there was a draft definitely whipping through that first floor. Could have caused the door to open. And there it goes. I held my ground at least. Well, see if we got it on camera too. Oh man, I think I missed it. Ah, shit. The door would be right here. Flashlight. Okay, so the door is now open. Couldn't see it. I missed it. Try to remain objective when you watch this.
Okay.
Alright, concluding data logging session. The door just opened by itself. It's still opening, it's still opening, it's still opening. Please tell me I got that on camera.
Now, why didn't you grab the camera to start out with?
I know. Well, part of me just wanted to let it happen. So, obviously I didn't get it, but what do you think?
I think you should have picked up the damn camera.
I probably should have. See what happens when you're not
I
there to set
know.
up the equipment?
I know. Did you feel anything weird?
Not at the time. I mean, like I said, I thought it was Corey or Jennifer coming into the room.
Yes,
I thought it was
yeah.
a real person. I mean, I definitely think the next step at this point is we have to get back there.
I guess we'll have to see if it happens again and set up a camera in a better angle.
We should probably spend some time investigating that room and really just try to expand on the first investigation.
That sounds like a good plan.
Right, Miranda.
Here we go.
Razor wire, that's a new addition.
She's so beautiful.
Right.
We're
This
here.
thing.
I am ready.
Corey, thank you so much for having us back, letting us into your home and sitting down with us.
My name's Corey Heinzen. Me and my wife Jennifer own a little house here in Harrisville, Rhode Island. We call it the farm on Round Top Road because obviously trademark, copyright infringements and stuff, but it was the house that inspired the movie of The Conjuring. A lot of people don't understand there's the movie of The Conjuring and what happened in real life. And unfortunately, the way it ended was the Warrens and their entourage were forced out of the house by Roger Perron forcefully after a botched seance, and it caused Carolyn Perron to almost lose her life. And it ultimately left the Warrens walking out the door without ridding the house of anything. And all the events that took place in this home made for the movie.
What are some of the things that you and your family have had happen in the home since you've been owners?
I mean, we've had everything from disembodied voices, phantom footsteps. I mean, it's a classical haunt. I mean, we actually had things happening on day one. We had the door in the safety room open up on us. It's never the same thing. It always keeps you kind of on edge. At no point is it like something that makes you fearful. Are you scared? Yes. I'm not a psychic. I don't see them coming up, you know, and they mean you no harm. They're just like, hey, how's it going? And it's gonna jump you.
What's the prevailing feeling like in the house for you? Is it one of comfort?
I won't say I'm comfortable, but I'm always wary.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm not walking around with a crucifix and holy water and nothing like that. We've never seen anything like that. We've never had anybody have to deal with something like that since we've been here.
Any rooms or areas that you find more active than others?
The middle bedroom, the library, And then, honestly, down towards the furnaces, we've had a lot of interactions as far as personal experiences. Okay. People getting their hair pulled, lower backs getting brushed. That's where Roger would always get touched. When he talks about it, he used to dread the winter time because he said that furnace would go out for no reason at all. And he'd have to go down there and deal with it. And then after a while, he kind of developed like a bond with what, the spirit he thought was down there.
So this is footage from when I was here last spring. The door just opened by itself. It's still opening. It's still opening.
Oh.
It's still opening. Please tell me I got that on camera. Now you can see my problem. Do you think, in your opinion, as an investigator, that event was or could have been caused by something supernatural? Or do you think that was just, I stepped on a floorboard, the door popped open?
I'll be honest with you, like, from what I've seen here in the house, I would say it's paranormal. However, I have to be there. It's happened so many times to other investigators the same way, like to the point where they're recording. Some have caught it on camera, some have caught the audible sound of the clicking noise.
Okay.
There's no draft hard enough in here that's gonna push on a door that's gonna lift that latch up.
On our return trip to the Conjuring house, we did the same camera setup, but we placed the study camera facing the door which had opened in the previous investigation. After setting up our equipment, we decided to do a thermal sweep.
All right, let's go for a walk. Moving into the parlor. So this is the room where the seance took place, where Carolyn Perron was injured.
You can see some nice heat from under the door. Is that what that is?
See an outlet. There's an outlet under there. Maybe wires in the wall.
Yeah.
That's cold around that door.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the floor is
Yeah.
not exactly level. We make stuff wiggle when we walk around. So this is the door that popped open on me when I was here alone last year. Take a quick look at this. I mean, that is latched on the other side. We know
Yeah.
we latched it, and that's pretty secure. Those floors don't really, well, at least right here, they don't move too much.
Yeah, it's like some spots are so solid and then others it's real
Yeah.
creaky.
After you.
Anyone in here?
So this room, the study, was the Perrons' master bedroom in the 1970s. And then homeowners after them converted this into an at-home office. And supposedly, Carolyn Perron and her husband were attacked by something in this room. Roger was scratched, and Carolyn was held down in their bed. You want to try closing this door? Now it is closed. Pushing on it. Nada. I'm going to tug on the latch without pulling up on it. Now, I am pulling with pretty much all of my weight right now. And that is not opening up.
During the initial walkthrough, I didn't really have any bad vibes or get any weird types of feelings walking around. It felt like a pretty normal old house. After our FLIR sweep, we decided to focus our investigation on some of the hot spots in the house, starting in the parlor.
January 15th, 2022, 11:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Nick and Miranda, and we are in the parlor on the first floor. Marking all cameras.
Just to note, that is the furnace, I think, which we hear in the background. That mechanical humming.
Yeah. You're sitting next to your lady leg.
Fragile. Must be Italian. Good evening. My name is Nick Smith-Koblitz. This is my friend Miranda.
Hi.
Do you remember me by any chance? Do you remember me coming here last year? How many people are in this house tonight? I feel a little tiny bit of a chill here, like right on my arm, that side. Maybe something from the cellar?
I did feel a spot before where I could feel air motion through the floor.
Feeling chilly air right here. Is there anybody in the room with us right now?
Sounded like something from in there.
Movement.
If it's hard to communicate, there's also these boxes on the floor that can sense when you're here. You go up near it and wave your hand around it.
Okay, this is recording in the master bedroom of the Heinzen residence. 1:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Obviously, there is vents here on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see
You can
command.
really get sound bleeding through.
When you came up here to put the meters up, it sounded like you were in the study. And then I walked in there and it was empty and I was like, I guess he's upstairs.
So, hello again. My name is Nick, and this is Miranda. We were
Hi.
talking to you a little while ago downstairs. Is there anybody up here with us tonight?
Can hear the wind whistling.
Nice little creek.
Heard it from over that way. Do you like having company or does it get kind of annoying?
Creek.
Might have been the radiator.
Kind of sounded like a radiator.
Yeah.
If talking is difficult for you, you can try knocking. 2 times for yes and 1 time for no, like this. If there is anybody here, would you be able to give us 2 knocks, please? I don't know about you, but I don't get any weird feelings in this room.
Not at all.
You think you want to head in, maybe check out the middle bedroom for a little bit?
Yeah.
If there's anybody here with us, could you tell us your name, please?
Were you buried here on this property?
0.13 to 0.16, 0.14, 0.17, 0.16, 0.16, 0.18. It is like totally dead
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah. We didn't really notice anything on the second floor, so we decided to focus on the study.
Hello again. My name is Nick.
I'm Miranda.
I know you've probably seen us around the house tonight. Anybody here in the study with us this evening?
Did you like this better as a bedroom?
When I was here a year ago, I was in this room by myself, and I watched that door open all by itself. Was that you who opened the door? If that was you, can you open that door?
Is my chair squeaking? Are you the one that throws the books off of the shelves?
Do you know the names Ed and Lorraine Warren?
We want a reaction from a presence, if it was there, good or bad, and we decide to conduct an auditory response experiment using an excerpt from Ed Warren's interview with Carolyn that had been recorded in the house.
Dating November 1st, Los Angeles, 1973. Carol, you had called us up and told us that there were supernatural activities taking place in your home here.
The hands on the banjo clock neither wound nor stepped, kept moving themselves from 12 o'clock high to 5:15. Every night, every morning we'd reset them to 12, and every night they'd move 5:15. Doors began to open and shut.
These are these doors right here, these two doors.
These dining room doors that lead to small bedroom. The piano was playing mysteriously at night. It was so disturbing that we began to tie doors shut, put things against doors, just so we could get a night's sleep.
That was Ed Warren and Carolyn Perron speaking in this house, in the next room over. The Perrons were driven out of this house, in part by their experiences with something horrible here. And if whatever that presence is still here in this house, we are here to open a line of communication with you. I want to know who or what you are and where you come from. Are you afraid to come out and talk to us? You threatened by us?
Bored by us?
Maybe you're nothing but a coward. Nothing but a big bully who likes to pick on defenseless ladies. Is that it?
Think that was the furnace?
Is there anyone outside in the next room? Are you hiding from us? You afraid to show yourself? Tell you what, Miranda. How do you feel about separating? The time is 3:57 a.m. This is Nick, and I am heading into the cellar.
So right now, I am in a boarding room, or the boarding room. So this room was where women would come when they were in labor to give birth.
I'm in the room with the well right now. Hello? My name's Nick. Anybody down here with me right now?
You've been really, shy about talking with us and communicating with us today. It's an old, beautiful house, and I'm sure there are plenty of beautiful spirits inside as well, regardless of what happened with Carolyn.
Is this your house? Did you used to live here?
The Perron girls had a spirit friend named Manny. Does that ring any bells for anyone here?
Now I was running my mouth upstairs. If I pissed you off, here's your chance to get me back.
Is anybody in this room with me right now? Is there anything that you would like to communicate or do?
Are there any members of the Arnold family down here?
Is there anybody up here? Hello? really kind of feels like there's absolutely nobody here right now. I don't really know what to say. I'm a little bit bewildered right now.
Nick to Miranda, over.
Hello, over.
I think I'm gonna wrap up down here and head back to control, over.
Sounds good. I will see you there. Over.
Over the next few weeks, we had to review all of the materials collected during our second investigation, hours of video and audio, and dozens of baseline readings. But unfortunately, we failed to uncover anything abnormal or unexplainable in our evidence. Investigating a place like the Conjuring house, I think, is pretty much every investigator's dream, and I'm honored that we got to come in and do some research.
Overall, I think the Conjuring house was pretty awesome. It was definitely not at all like what the movies portrayed it to be. It felt very peaceful and calm. I think that Nick's experience with the door is probably most likely because it's an old house and the floorboards will move and, different temperatures will cause the wood to expand or contract. A latch that's not very secure, so it expands and it can pop open or vice versa. So it's very hard to recreate, and it's also probably likely that he just put the right amount of pressure in the right spot.
I'm still on the fence about what happened with the door. The skeptic in me will always say I stepped on a floorboard at the right time when temperature and humidity was just so, and it caused the door to pop open.
When it comes to the Conjuring house being haunted, I think that we would need more time there to really be able to say that. Neither Nick or I experienced anything, but that doesn't mean that, there's been a whole bunch of other people that did experience stuff there. So I wouldn't, label it as haunted or not necessarily.
Personally, I am really proud of the work that we've done at the Conjuring house. I think we've hit the location really hard on our 2 investigations. At this time, though, I'm leaning more towards saying that the location isn't haunted. I think what, if anything, was bothering the Perron family in the 70s left when they did.